welcome back to the channel. Hope your day's been good, but better watch this video. So guys, today we're doing a student's guide to testing your knowledge. Most of you guys have your exams on 7th June, so I just wanted to help you revise and tell you the ways how you can revise. This video is just going to be covering the basics. You already know all of these, but you don't apply them. So I'm just giving you this reminder that these are great ways to study. And also in my future videos, I'm going to be going in so much more detail and providing you with content that you have never even heard or seen of. So moving on. Why is it important? Why is it important to test your knowledge? It is important to test yourself with different ways to see how much you have progressed or processed and what you're still having trouble with. So then you can see, okay, I have trouble with this and I already know this. So then you can focus on the points or topics or subtopics or subjects that are weaker. It is also a way of active recall. So active learning and active recall are almost on the same page. They are proved more beneficial in science than passive learning. Passive learning is basically taking notes from your books, but what active learning is when you write questions and on another page you can write answers. So then you can refer to those question and answers. That would be known as active recall. So first in 1 week I could do those questions, and after 2 weeks I can repeat them again. After 1 week I could repeat them again. So it just keeps recalling in my brain all the information. Moving on. Ways to test yourself. You can thank me later. Solve past papers. Solving past papers is a tip that our parents told us, our grandparents told us, our great-great-great-grandparents told us, but we never apply because we think we are amazing, we don't need this, and also it's a waste of our time. But in reality, it is the most beneficial tip you could do. You can get a feel of how the exam will be like, how you work under pressure and under stress or under time, because most of you guys can write amazing answers to questions when you aren't under a time limit, but when you have a time limit and you take on stress, you just go bonkers and you are going to be writing about planes, cupboards, desks, but actually you just have to write, is it a car or not? So, and it is also a great way to see how much you have processed and what you still need to study or remember or work on. It also gives you a feel of what the examiner wants from you. Moving on. Draw pictures or mind maps. Use these to explain a point. This is treasure from heaven. This tip is like treasure from heaven. Draw pictures is basically like diagrams. What I do, I redraw my diagrams, or if it's explained in text, a process, I usually make a diagram out of it because that stays in my mind so much better. I'm not a very big on visual learner, but sometimes I am both, like an active learner and a visual learner, because they both are very beneficial for me. Mind maps, I don't use them very much, but I'll show you some examples of them. A mind map. So basically, if you're going to talk about vertebrates, so that's vertebrates in the cloud, then the 5 groups: amphibians, reptiles, fish, mammals, and birds. And then you could, as you can see, they're showing an example and then some properties of that specific group. This is an amazing way. I can already see that mind map in my head. It was just so weird and creepy. Moving on. Pictures or diagram. So in this diagram, they're basically explaining wind erosion. So what happens is, like, the wind is being eroded, the sand is being eroded, and then it's being deposited a few inches or centimeters ahead. So in this, from me explaining and you looking at the diagram, you can understand it better from the diagram than me explaining. So this is the most amazing way of remembering processes. If you have lots of processes in your books, for example, in geography, we have lots of processes. So moving on. Recite and summarize topics from memory. This I do all the time, and I can say 100% this works, people. So basically what I do, I read a subtopic of a topic, and then I start reciting it. You can do more, or you could just read the whole topic and then recite it. But then I just start reciting it like what I remember. So I can say, okay, he killed him, he defeated him, and then they got independence. Also, summarize topics from memory is an amazing way of doing it again. So you basically read the subtopic and then you summarize it in your own words, not by looking at the book, but just by memory. Then you can see what you remembered and what you still have to work on. Is the most amazing way to do this, guys. I really recommend it. Moving on. Predict exam questions and answers. So this is basically can go into active learning. So what I do when I am reading my textbooks, I take down questions. So okay, my mom can ask me this, my teacher can ask me this, my professor can ask me this. So I could be like, okay, she could ask me, why did he kill him? Who is his son? So I just take all these questions and then write their answers on a separate page, so I don't have to open my book again and again. Moving on, use flashcards. Oh my god, this is the most amazing thing ever. On the front page, what you do is write your question, and on the back, you write your answer. But if you guys are really not responsible enough, or you lose papers, or you're just I don't mean you're not responsible. I just meant it as an example. If you lose papers or you don't want to waste too many papers, what you can do, take your notebook. On one side of the page, write all your questions, and on the other side of the page, write all your answers. So, and then you can do active recall and recall all those questions like a week later or 2 weeks. That just really depends. Moving on. Teach content to another or an imaginary person. This tip is amazing. I do this all the time. I used to teach it to my brothers, all the content that I have learned, but siblings, they just don't want to work with you, and it's just complicated. So what you can do is imagine there's another person in front of you, and then you could teach it to them, or you could teach it to a friend, because friends do come in handy in this type of thing, because you are helping them improve and you're improving yourself as well. Moving on. Thank you for your time. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something new today. If you didn't learn something new, this video was basically a reminder of what you can apply and what you can do, which you don't do because you think you're this amazing person and that doesn't need to do anything. So guys, see you in my next video. Don't miss out on the next video. So I don't want you guys to miss out on the next video. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a like, share this video, leave a beautiful comment, because the next videos are gonna be amazing, like flying amazing, like amazing. Bye.